Hello, hello, and welcome back to the Cupcake Jemma channel with me, Gemma.
And me, Sally.
And we are here in the amazing and newly completed Cupcake Jemma studio. And if you were watching on Tuesday's video, you will have seen us all give you the full tour, including the loo.
I made some shelves, okay, and
She's very pleased with herself about these shelves.
I mean,
we thought you needed to see them as well.
Yeah, we'll pop a link to the video in the description box below if you want to get the full lowdown. I think you should, because it is absolutely beautiful.
We can skip straight to the shelves if you want.
Right, so today we're going to show you how to make something that we have been like super obsessed with for ages, and we keep meaning to bring you this, but we're busy gals. Anyway, we're here finally joining the party, the Bento cake party. I just love them. They're just so absolutely adorable. They're like, oh, hello.
Not only are they cute, as you can see, they're also, I reckon, just enough for 2 people.
You say that, and I would agree with you, and I do agree with you, but Dane reckons he could fit a hole in his mouth.
I mean, he can fit a whole cupcake in his mouth. But
I'm rooting for him.
I don't know.
Yeah, I reckon at the end of this video I'm going to get him in.
Okay, well I've done a first aid course, so I'll be standing by for the choke. Heimlich.
Right, so I am going to shimmy off.
Don't bake me my cake.
I'm going to bake you some cakes. I'm going to decorate them, ready for you to make them look marvellous.
I'll get my... Ooh, ow.
Do some
piping fingers cracked and ready to go.
Right, come on you lot, I'll give you a mini tour now as we go. This is the KitchenAid Museum. But we are going to head on this way past this gorgeous mural that our bestest friend, he doesn't know this bit, he is my best friend, House at Home made this, and it is absolutely gorgeous. So we are here in our kind of second studio space, which is more kind of bakery style, and I'm going to show you guys how to make these. So this is going to need some cake, obviously, and you can make any cake you want. I'm going to go vanilla because I think vanilla is classic, it is delicious, and I don't care what anybody says otherwise. Now, these are tiny little cakes, okay? So you want to get yourself some, well, I just Googled burger boxes and I got these, okay? So you want to start by getting yourself some boxes, and then you can work out how big your cake needs to be. And instead of baking this in teeny tiny little round cake pans, because one, that's a lot of teeny tiny cake pans to use and to wash up. Also, the cake wouldn't actually be that good. It might be a little bit dry, a little bit too kind of crispy around the edges. We're instead going to bake it in this sheet pan. Now, this is a half sheet pan, and it is 9 by 12 inches. It is great to have at home because it fits perfectly into the home oven. And we're going to start by lining this. Now, if you're doing any kind of bake in a large pan like this, I would always recommend lining it so that it comes out nicely once it's baked. It might seem like an extra faff, but it would be more faffy to have to rebake your cake because it broke. So, super easy. We're going to start with some spray, some cake release spray. Ta-da-da! And then I'm going to grab my greaseproof paper here, which I have trimmed so that it fits in the bottom, like so, but with a little bit of an overhang. And that is actually really important, because it means, well, you'll see, I'll show you how to get this out later on once it's baked. It's just going to make it a lot easier. And then I've got my 2 extra little strips here. That is all ready, so I'm just going to pop that over there. Gosh, we've got so much space on these tables now, it's marvellous. Right, so we're going to start by making our vanilla sponge. Super easy, but I am going to talk you through it because I love to give you the info. So first up, we're going to use some butter that has been, I've left this out overnight actually so that it's really soft, okay? This is what we mean by soft butter. It is super squishy and spreadable. That way it's going to whip up, and that is essential for this kind of cake because we're going to create the air by whipping our butter. So let's just scrape all of that in. So I've got 250 grams of butter and then 250 grams of caster sugar. You can use granulated sugar if you want to, but caster is just better, it's finer, it dissolves a lot more easily. So then we're going to pop on our mixer to a medium speed, and we're going to whip this up for about 3 to 4 minutes. It's going to be white in colour, it's going to be fluffy, it's going to look like a cloud. So I'm going to keep the mixer on the lowest speed and start adding our eggs. So I've got 4 eggs in total. I'm going to crack 1 with 1 hand and back. I am back. And I'm gonna add each egg one at a time, and we're gonna turn the mixer up in between, beat it for a couple of minutes just to keep on creating air. So last egg going in. We'll just whip that up. And next up is our dry, which is just some self-raising flour. So I've got another 250 grams. Like, this kind of recipe could not be easier. 250 grams of everything and 4 eggs. Bish, bash, bosh. So let's I'm just gonna take the paddle off so that I can sift in my flour. Some people say don't sift things, but I think those people are crazy. Always sift, always sift. It just helps to get it even more kind of airy and light. So self-raising flour. I know a lot of people can't find self-raising flour. I'll put a link to a recipe for that. It's just kind of, plain flour and baking powder as well, so that you can definitely make this at home. And what we're going to do now is pop this onto the lowest speed, because we just want to fold this flour through. And once it's almost combined, we're going to add in a little bit of milk. So I've got some whole milk here, and I'm going to add in 3 tablespoons as the mixer is going. And of course, this wouldn't be a vanilla cake without any vanilla. So I've got my Cupcake Jemma vanilla here, available from CupcakeJemma.com. So I'm going to go in with about half a teaspoon. Oh, look at it, absolutely beautiful. Let that just mix through. Oh, it's so nice. Nikki and I were making these the other day, and we were just like, there is nothing better than a vanilla cake batter. It looks so silky and beautiful. Look at it. Oh, yeah. Now it is ready to go in its tin. Just make sure you scrape all of the batter off. Every little helps. Now, before we put it into the tin, you can see we've got quite a little collection of flour around the edge. I'm actually just going to fold the rest of this by hand. As soon as you put your flour into your cake batter, you really don't want to overmix. So we'll just finish this off. A little arm workout for a Friday morning. It is ready, so grab back the tin and we'll pour it all in and spread it out. Now it is ready for the oven, so cute. Oh my God, come and have a look at this. Like, you've probably seen our ovens in the bakeries. They're like massive versions of these. And we just thought we don't need a really big one, but it's so sweet. Probably at home you think that's still massive. To us, it's mini. So he's preheated to 170 degrees C, which is fan assisted. And we're gonna pop our cake in for 22 to 25 minutes. Mine, I know, is 24, but you might wanna test at 22 until a skewer comes out clean, and then you're gonna cool it down for about 30 minutes. So once your cake is cool enough to handle, so after about 30 minutes, or like me, overnight, I actually really like to let my cakes chill out overnight for a bit. I feel like it helps them kind of relax and settle, but whatever, you don't have to do that if you're in a hurry. It is time to turn this cake out of its tin. Now, this is where our handy greaseproof lining comes into play. So we want to kind of release it from the tin, just by like pulling up the edges, and you can see how the cake's already moving, which is great. We'll just make sure you can discard any little bits like that. And then we're going to grab a big baking sheet if you've got one. If not, you can just fling this out onto the surface, but this is great. Or maybe a cooling rack. Pop it on top, hold them both really well together, flip it over. I just heard it fall out, which is great. And there she is. So now we're going to peel back our greaseproof paper nice and carefully. I love doing this. Ooh. Beautiful. The simple things in life, you know. So now we are just going to flip this back again because I want the top showing. So now I've just got a bit of greaseproof here. Hey, you got to have some guts in this industry, you know. Now we can just start chomping out our bento cakes. So like I said, you want to get your boxes ready and you want to find a cake ring that is going to be the right size to fit inside, but also remembering that there is going to be some icing around the outside too. Now this, where is it? This is one of these rings from our set here, which you can get from Cupcake Jemma. They're so useful. They're great for trimming down cakes or making cookies or little plaques. They really are super handy. Anyway, let's get chomping. Now I want to get 3 bento cakes with 2 layers, so 6 circles. All we're going to do is chomp our 6 circles first. And any excess cake can go into the freezer to make cake pops or into your belly, which I would probably do, which is probably what I am going to do. And what we're left with is these perfect little rounds of cake. Now, it is ready for the cuteness. I mean, they're already pretty cute. I love them. But now it is time to kind of ice these up, ready for Jemma with her amazing decorating skills. So we're going to need some buttercream. Now I've got some vanilla buttercream here because, again, I'm going classic, but you can use whatever you like. So this just started with 250 grams of softened and unsalted butter into my stand mixer, and I whipped it up on a medium to high speed for about 3 to 5 minutes until it was really pale in color, really creamy, and then I added 400 grams of sifted icing sugar that I added in 2 stages, and I whipped it really well in between each addition. And then I added a good pinch of salt, half a teaspoon of vanilla extract, and 2 to 3 tablespoons of whole milk until I was left with the perfect, soft, whippy, white, creamy, cloud-like buttercream. And it doesn't get much that is better than this in life. We are ready to ice. Now, a little bit differently to a regular cake, we're not going to put these on cake boards because you'd have to find a very specific size cake board, and if you want to do that, then fine, but we're actually going to just use some little bits of greaseproof paper that I cut up that are going to fit perfectly inside our boxes. I'm also not going to use a turntable. I don't really feel like you need to do it for this because I'm going to show you how to use the greaseproof. So first of all, grab yourself a little bit of buttercream, put it onto your greaseproof as if it was a cake board. Grab your first piece of cake. If you feel like your cake's a little bit kind of uneven, you can just trim the top off, but I'm pretty happy with mine, so I'm leaving them like that. I'm going to grab myself some buttercream. They're just so sweet. Now you can hold the sides of your cake, just be nice and gentle, don't push too firmly. Spread it around as usual. And you could leave it like this, but there was the teeniest amount of raspberry goo going spare here, and I thought, I'll use it. So you could use jam in here, you could put caramel, you could put lemon curd, and then we'll just spread that around. And as usual, we're not going to go all the way to the edge so that the cake doesn't slide around too much. And then we'll grab our second piece and we'll flip it over, pop it on top. Now we're just going to do that with all the remaining cakes. I say all, there's only 2 more. Maybe you can already see, but I'm using this greaseproof as if it were a turntable. So watch this. So pop on my jam, and then you can turn the greaseproof round. I think this is a great kind of cheat. You can even do this with a big cake if you don't have a turntable. Now we can give these a little crumb coat, which I always think is essential. I'm just going to take a bit of icing out so I don't get too many crumbs in it. And we're going to do it exactly the same as we would a big cake. It's just going to be a little bit messier. So try and hold your cake. If it feels like it's sliding around, then by all means just chuck it in the fridge. I mean, don't chuck it. Gently place it in the fridge, just so the center firms up a little bit. And just use your palette knife very gently. This is why you need really soft buttercream. And using that greaseproof paper again, just like a turntable, so that we are kind of, you know, still just working in this one section of the cake. And just like usual, we're going to pop these into the fridge just for about 20 minutes to firm up so that we've got a nice solid base to top coat. So now we can get top coating these. They're lovely and firm, and we're going to do this just like we do a regular cake, but I'll show you this first one. Now look, this is a cool thing about the greaseproof, is that you can pick the greaseproof up to move the cake. Beautiful. Now I've coloured some of my icing as Gemma has requested, but make sure you save back a little bit in case you want to do some different colours for your decoration. So I've just taken like about one kind of spoonful here to top coat. And we're going to do it exactly the same as a regular cake, and like we just did with the top coat, slap on some icing, smooth it all around, and use your greaseproof paper to assist. And now my already cute little cakes are going to get transformed into even cuter little cakes through the power of Cupcake Jemma. We're coming!
Oh, let me see my cute little cakeys. Oh, they're so
Here
sweet.
you go, they're ready for you.
Oh, I love them. They would look, I mean, they're beautiful as is.
Yeah, but you're going to make them more beautiful.
I hope so, because I don't want to undo any amazing work that Sally's just done. Now, you might have seen on Instagram, we did a reel which showed some of these ones. I just want to give you some ideas, because really these cakes are so small that they don't need like really, really complicated techniques. And you will be able to do any of these very, very simply. You just need a few things like piping bags and different sizes of nozzles, and of course, buttercream and some nice colours. So I'm going to start with a little two-tone action, because I just think the more colours the merrier on these things. So I'm going to use a technique I've shown you before. It's where you put two different colours, or more if you want, into cling film and wrap it up like a little sausage. So I've already coloured my buttercream, the lovely buttercream that Sally made. I have a bit of cling film here, and I'm just going to start by like blobbing it on in a sort of neat row. And once you've got all your icing in, you then need to kind of wrap it up in a little colourful sausage, like so. Now, I've already prepared a piping bag, and I'm using this really cool, very multi-star nozzle. It's got like loads and loads of points in it. I think this is going to look really cool. So I'm going to put my icing sausage, let's call it that, into my piping bag. I might just give it a squeeze, just to squeeze it towards the end a little bit more, like that. And then, as normal, you want to prepare your piping bag. But first of all, I'm just going to get rid of any of the icing that hasn't blended. Oh, here it comes. And so when it starts to come through in both colours, as you can see it's happening now, you're ready to get some two-tone action on. So I think I'm going to do these colours on the yellow. I think that would look really cool. And I'm just going to simply do little wiggly blobs. So here goes. Oh, look at that. Oh, he's so sweet. But I think actually this needs some sprinkles. So I'm going to consult my sprinkle gallery here. Sprinkles! Everyone's been waiting a long, long time for these in the UK, but they're finally here, and very soon they will be available to buy on CupcakeJemma.com, so watch this space. But these are so beautiful. I'm going to sprinkle them on. Right. I mean, I don't think it needs any more than that. You know, you can go over the top with these little cakes. So this one's done, and now I just need to put it into his little burger box. Very carefully, of course. Oh, look at that, how sweet. I love him. And you can go and hang out with all your little friends over here. And next I'm going to do, I think, let's do the green one because I've got big plans for this one. This is going to have little chubby daisies on them. I keep seeing these on Instagram. They're really sweet. They're very, very easy to do. I've got a piping bag with white buttercream for the petals, and this is a number 18 nozzle. So as you can see, it's quite a sort of big round nozzle, and it's very, very simple. I'm going to do a 5-petal one. You want to start at the blobby end of your petal and then pull it into where the middle will be, and you want to do that 5 times. Until you achieve maximum blobby daisy. And it looks a little bit funny at the moment, but that's okay because I've also got a yellow with another slightly smaller round nozzle here. This is a number 4. And that's going to be the middle of the flower, which probably has a very technical name. You can tell me what that is in the comments box. And that's a little cute little chubby daisy. So I think this needs a few more. Now, if you wanted to, you could even colour up some buttercream with black food colouring and a tiny piping nozzle, and you could put little cute little faces on them and they would be so sweet. But I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to keep it really simple and pop it into his little house. It's not going to last long, this house, because someone with a very large mouth is going to come along and eat these, I think. So that's my little daisy guy. And now I think let's write something. So I've also seen this other style, which is really cool at the moment, which is to have a double layer of writing on. So you do a thick chubby layer and then you do a chubby layer over the top. And I will show you what I mean. Now, what colour shall I use? I will do a yellow on the bottom and pink on the top. What shall I write? Sally, what shall I write?
Cute.
Okay. Here we go. And then I think pink on the top of that, because what's cuter than pink and yellow? Now that is cute, but I think it needs a little something extra. So since I've got all these colours already mixed up, I'm going to do some little dots everywhere, just using a really small piping nozzle. There it is. And I think it's pretty cute. What do you think?
Oh, I love them. They're just so sweet.
Let's put him in his little house.
I really want someone to give me a cute cake.
Well, you can have this one. There you go. I mean, you did most of the work.
I honestly think that is the cutest one.
Thank you yourself.
And they just look perfect in the studio as well.
They really do. And also they just make such nice gifts.
Yeah, they are really, really sweet. I absolutely love them.
Oh, goodbye.
Oh,
good night.
Good night. Hello. We could do it for hours. We're very easily amused, you and me.
Yeah, we really are.
Cool. Well, thank you so much. I hope you loved this video and enjoyed baking them.
Yeah, and do show us your pictures, because obviously this is like a really limited selection of what you can actually do with these cakes. They are really versatile. So decorate them up, take pictures, put them on Instagram, using the hashtag CupcakeJemma, because then we can see all your creativity.
Yeah, I feel like we've probably got a few piping technique videos on the channel, so I'll do my best to remember to put those in the description box below as well. So
is that how you remember things?
It's not going to happen, but yeah.
It's the memory key.
Something like that.
I wish I had one of those.
I believe Dane is going to be back next week with this passion fruit and milk chocolate macaron that...
Oh, really?
Like,
I believe it when I see it.
Since the day we met him, he's been talking about those.
Oh, passion fruit milk chocolate this, passion fruit milk chocolate that.
Well, I think he's actually going to be here next week with that recipe for you guys. And...
Is he here?
He is literally standing over there hovering. Because he's like, yeah, I can do this, I can do this, I can eat a whole one.
Come this way.
I'm ready to eat one.
Go here.
Entirely.
Right, you
guys,
need all your...
This is going to be like hell messy. So we're going to say over and out. Thanks for watching. Make sure you follow us on Instagram and use #CupcakeJemma, like Gemma's already mentioned probably. If you want to join us over on Bake Club as well, you'll see a few extra designs over there. We'll see. He'll see you next week if he survives this.
Yeah.
I'm ready with my first aid skills.
I'm going to go for this green one.
Oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. I feel like I heard something crack.